Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Uh, 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 here we go, finally. Shit. Stupid ass fucking. Shit. Stupid ass fucking Mike. All right, now we're gonna be getting into a. We're gonna be watching Nick talk about his time on Piers Morgan, even though we all watched that and understood that it was bullshit and it was Pierce trying to basically high road and guilt shame Nick into recanting or apologizing for the things he's said over the time, which is was asinine. I don't know why he would try to do that. That like we're over that type of shit, Pierce. Get with the program, bro. I gotta make sure that when I switch it over, we can hear it too. Hold up. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. There we go. Okay, anyways, this was face. Okay, yeah. So let's get right into it. I just had to make sure all my shit was working because you know this shit isn't. every day is something different way, a different way for me to figure out how to fix it. But yeah, let's get into it.
The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together.
Oh!
So stop treating these mother like they mean something.
Let's go to TikTok. All right, and now the first video we're gonna get into is the Nick video. And hear him. Actually, you know what? Since we watched the Piers Morgan interview the other day, and we know that actually this might lead it into it. I don't know. Cause I forgot how they came up with, but you know what? We'll start with this. It don't matter. Let's see what he has to say.
In many ways, I'm still censored. I'm telling you, I'm still canceled. In many ways, I'm still censored. And so you can't call your show uncensored if you're censoring the most censored person. So I complained about that a lot. After the Tucker interview.
All right, that doesn't make any sense. How your show is uncensored. And literally in the show, I think he says, Ye was saying how something about when niggas being niggas, but he said nigga, and Piers didn't even show that. Like, how are you uncensored, bro? And you can't even show that shit.
They started talking about me like every week. I think they did like 7 shows, 5 or 6 shows about me since I did my interview with Tucker. And they would have a panel discussion about me while I'm banned from the show. So they're debating each other. Should he have a platform? Should he not? Should Tucker have talked to him? What did he do wrong? And I'm not allowed to engage. I'm not allowed to speak for myself or jump in. And so I called Piers Morgan out on my show a couple weeks ago. I said, how many shows is he going to do where he talks about me, but he won't talk to me? I said, because that doesn't seem fair. And so around Thanksgiving, he challenged me to come on the show. He said, you're right. It's about time. I'm going to talk to you. And he invited me on the show. And I got in touch with his producer, and we set it up very quickly, scheduled it for Monday. And I said last week that I expected it to be hostile.
There's a creative side
So always
hustle
Piers
almost
always
nobody
does
is
that,
talking
though.
about, and it's not
Did that with
content
Andrew.
creation. Being a YouTuber,
Main example.
I said I was expecting an ambush, and then I corrected myself. I said it's not going to be an ambush because I know that it's going to be hostile.
Right.
So with an ambush, there's an element of surprise. I said it's not an ambush because there's no surprise. I said I know exactly what I'm in for. And this morning or last night, I think it was, I'm not sure, they reassured me. They said, no, it's going to be live. It's going to be a live interview, 2 hours, one-on-one, no gimmicks. And I said, great. I think that's great. I was glad that it was live because then I can be confident that it won't be edited or censored or they're not going to mess with it in production. I said, that's fine. And so we do the interview. And like I said, it wasn't an ambush, but it was the usual Piers Morgan tabloid routine. He played all my clips, all the greatest hits, and basically asked me if I agreed with myself. That was the premise of the show.
Yeah, literally.
It was another clip show. And if you've been following me, you know what this is. You know how this goes. It's not the first one. I've been subjected to this many times. You go into the interview and they play a clip for you and they cut it out of context. They take 10 seconds, whatever it is, and they'll take something that's supposed to be a joke or it's rhetorical or whatever. And then they treat you like you're in a police interrogation. They treat you like you're in a courtroom.
Officer Piers Morgan. No, but what Nick is saying here, this is so true. And again, guys, was it not like an amazing interview? I'm still like hyped up about it. But what Nick just said here, this is so true. Like Piers Morgan, he took like those clips completely out of context, and then he was asking Nick, "Do you agree with what you just said here?" And Nick is like,
Oh God, like it just was like a point, and it's like a point in, hey guys, don't like this guy, he's
and
racist.
this is, believe me, guys, let's continue.
Don't believe him, guys. He's racist. Look what he said, guys. Look at him. Look, guys. That's all this was.
And they say, you submitted that on the record. And they act like you swore under oath that everything you've ever said is serious. And we all are familiar with that. They play the greatest hits, the things that sound the worst, and they ask you to defend it. And it's funny because I heard people explain it this way. They said he's playing you clips from your own show and then asking you if you agree with yourself. It's like, of course I'm going to agree with myself. He plays a clip and then says, what did you mean by that? And I'm like, well, I meant what I said in the clip. What, did you take that back? No, I said, it's my show. I said it on my show. Of course I agree with the clip. I said it. It's on my show. And so that was the structure. That was the format. Clip, response, clip, response. And I guess what was notable about it is that he was clearly going into this interview thinking, I have to assume this. He went into it thinking that I would be embarrassed or ashamed.
I don't know why though. Like he's never done that before. If you've ever watched Nick ever, that's what I'm saying. Like if you've ever watched Nick ever, he's never been like ashamed or embarrassed of what he says. He actually stands on 100 on what he says. So, like him, like that's weird that Piers. But even if he was to feel embarrassed or shame, why did Piers think we would give a fuck? The niggas who are watching, why do you think we would care? We don't care what the fuck is going. Like, if bro is talking truth, we don't give a fuck how he's saying it. He's telling the truth. If he says 2 + 2 = fucking 4, it equals fucking 4.
Or that he could shame me. And so he'll play a clip where I say, should be in prison. Women need to shut up. Are running America. And he thinks that I'm going to blush and get red in the face and go, oh, I didn't mean it that way. I'm not racist. I'm actually a really good guy. And I think he was surprised.
Oh, God.
When I said, yeah, everything I said in that clip is true.
Oh, God.
And he said, really? Everything? Yeah. What about this part? Yeah, that too. Really? You think blacks should be in jail? Yeah, they
for the
commit
most
too
part.
much crime.
Oh, God.
Well,
like you
white
said.
people commit crime. Yeah, they do it less. But they commit crime. Yeah, but less. But they commit crime. Yeah, but proportionally less. Okay, next subject. Like, and this was the flow of the interview.
This is so true. And you can say whatever you want about Nick. You can agree with him. You can disagree with him. This is all fine. But you can't say that this guy, like, the way how
he started out the interview with the Coleman Hughes clip. And Coleman Hughes is this black guy. He's like this black nerd at the Free Press. I had never heard of him. Apparently, he's very important to himself. And they play this clip from Coleman Hughes. He's at the Free Press. And for those that don't know, Free Press is Barry Weiss's publication. Barry Weiss is like an Israeli spy. She went to Columbia University. Well, actually, before she did that, she graduated high school and then went to Israel. Graduated high school, then did a fellowship in Israel. Went to Columbia, started a pro-Israel campus group where she tried to get professors fired for being in favor of Palestine.
My goodness.
It was called the David Project and Columbia Unbecoming. Funnily enough, she was in the same group as Bronze Age Pervert. You know, Costin Alamaru, Bronze Age Pervert. He went to Columbia at the same year, and he worked on the same project, the same pro-Israel thing with Barry Weiss. Just a fun tidbit. After she graduated, Barry Weiss went back to Israel, and she did another fellowship under Yoram Hazony. She came back to the United States and started working for Bret Stephens, who is a Jewish editorialist for the Wall Street Journal at the time. Bret Stephens used to write for the Jerusalem Post before that.
Oh my goodness.
So
Jesus
he was like
Christ.
her mentor, and then took her to the New York Times. And then after the New York Times, she started Free Press. So she is like a trained Israeli propagandist. That's why she was in Israel. She was in Israel in high school, after college, in college, at Wall Street Journal, at New York Times. She is a trained Israeli propagandist, and that's what the Free Press is. And she was in the news lately because David Ellison, the son of Larry Ellison, bought her publication for $100 and some million and then made her the editor-in-chief of CBS. And now CBS is extremely pro-Israel. All their news reporting about Israel talks about how Hamas are terrorists and Israel's defending itself. And anyway, that's where this is coming from, just so you understand. And it's important to understand this for...
But that's why I fuck with Nick. He doesn't just say, oh yeah, Barry Weiss is this and keeps moving. He explains brick by brick, my nigga. Like, he go brick by brick by brick by brick by brick. He might even pull, like, he's pouring the cement. Like, he don't even have the full bricks out. He's literally pouring the cement for you, the foundation. Like, that's why I fuck with bro.
For later in the story. Perfect. So... this Coleman Hughes, he's at Free Press. It's a pro-Israel propaganda outlet. And he does this video where he explains my strategy. And he says that when I'm on my show, I have one persona where I'm an extremist and a fanatic and I'm crazy and I'm hateful. He says, and then I go on an interview and I act moderate and I pretend like I'm a moderate, sensible, reasonable person, and I act polite, and I'm nice, and all this. He says, and that's the conceit, is that I'm doing a charm offensive, I'm pretending to be a nice guy, and then when I become dictator of America, I'm going to take the mask off and become the second Hitler.
Whoa, dude, like, what did he just...
It's crazy. Again, shout out to Purge.
And I said this to Piers Morgan. I said, you know, first of all, he's a propagandist. Second of all, I said, my show is entertainment. I do a monologue, and it's funny, and it's rambunctious, and it's provocative. I said, and then when I do an interview, I explain my views in a serious and persuasive way. I said, that's not dishonest. That's just... We speak in an indoor voice when we're inside. We speak in an outdoor voice when we're outside. We talk to our parents one way. We talk to our male friends another way. That's just basic communication.
Right.
I said, but the last part, which is that I'm going to seize power and then become Hitler, I said, I don't even know where that comes from. That just sounds totally crazy. That just sounds like a weird...
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here, wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now, Mint Mobile...
It sounds like a Hollywood script. Nick Fuentes becomes president, then there's another Holocaust. I said, I'm not even going to engage with that. But he brought that up at the beginning of the interview, and the reason I say this is because in his mind, I think he thought that he was going to distill or break down the two personas. In his mind, all the other interviews, I'm being given softball questions and I'm being allowed to come across as reasonable. I'm being allowed to play the moderate and play the nice guy, and I'm doing this cynically, and the interviewer is letting me get away with it. And the public is getting this impression that I'm a really moderate guy. So in his mind, he's thinking, I'm going to play the clips from the show during the interview where he's trying to be the moderate. And he is going to have to deal with the contradiction of being a radical on the show, but attempting to appeal to a more moderate audience on my interview. So he starts out with the Coleman Hughes statement like this, and then he starts playing the clips. Okay, well, what about this from your show? What about that? And I'm sure he was expecting that if he's getting interviewed, Nick, that I'm going to try to wiggle my way out of that. I'm going to try and weasel my way out and say, oh, I didn't mean that. Oh, I don't know what I said. You know, I'm going to try and do something like that. And instead, I just said, yeah, no, I agree with that clip. And I agree with it completely. And that is what caught him off guard. And I think the biggest moment came when he said, very early on, he said, "So you're racist. Are you racist?" And I said, "Yes, I am racist." Sure, I accept
That
it.
shut
Call
that
me a
shit down
racist.
quick.
And throughout the interview, I think once that happened, it was over. Because the entire purpose of the interview was to basically say, the
Exactly.
rhetoric on your show is racist. Do you know that?
It's basically to make him look bad. The whole show was to make him look bad. But like once he came out and said, "Yeah, I'm racist. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm racist. What you gonna do about it?" It's like, oh shit. Okay, well that's it. If you was really trying to figure out what he was, then you could just click on and go by. But if you're smart, you're gonna understand that what Piers like to do and watch the show.
The rhetoric on your show is misogynistic. Do you know that? Do you deny that? And once I accepted it and said, yes, I'm racist, I'm misogynistic. Now what? Okay, I'm racist. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. I won't even deny it. Now what? Now what do you have to say? Okay, congratulations. You did it. He said on Twitter before, he said, we're going to give a proper examination of his views. And I knew what that meant. I knew what was coming. He said, you're racist, aren't you? Admit it. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, like seriously, you
Oh
need
God. Like everybody is. If you say you're not, you're just fucking coping. And most of the time, people who say they aren't are the white people who are scared to not be honest. But everybody, like when you think about human life, you kind of have to be to a certain extent because you can't judge everybody by getting to know them. So you kind of we basically judge books by the cover. We have to survive. So that does include some type of racism or stereotyping, which is racism in its own way. It's just true racism. But yeah, that'll keep you alive in certain situations rather than trying to figure out how good everybody is.
And he had nothing.
Stupid.
Nothing. And throughout the interview, he's restating it in new ways, restating it in novel ways over and over. But you see, you said you're racist earlier, but you see, you've conceded you're racist. Does the audience know, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he is racist? And I said, congratulations. Congratulations, you've succeeded. Yes. And I don't know why you're so proud of yourself. I don't know why you're patting yourself on the back. This is something I've said on my show. It's something I've said in interviews. I said it to Candace Owens' face. Right before I explained human biodiversity, right before I explained race and IQ, I told her, yes, I'm racist. I said, I used to say I'm racialist. Now I just say I'm racist. I don't care. I said, so I don't know why you're patting yourself on the back. And once I said that, it was over because he had nothing. There was no moral high ground. He couldn't shame me. And there was nothing substantive to say other than to point and sputter, you're a racist, you're a racist, you're misogynistic.
What did I say?
And there's a lesson in this, which is that these words and these labels, and more than that,
That's what they do to cancel and silence people. Oh, he's a racist. Don't listen to him. He only likes white people. He's racist. Don't listen to him. He only likes white people. He's racist. You see the way that Myron talks about black people? He's racist. He doesn't like them. Oh my God, do you hear the way he's talking about blacks? He's racist. Don't listen to him. Listen to me. My wife is getting fucked by the fucking water boy. But listen to me.
the shame, it only has as much power over you as you give it. Now, I understand that for normal people, there's a little more to the story, because if you get called a racist, you could lose your job. You could be expelled from school. Your wife or your girlfriend might leave you. Your family might disown you.
Imagine niggas giving a fuck about shit like that. The job I understand because you have to take care of yourself, but like wife, family, disowning you. I remember my like nigga. No, I don't. I come with truths and I tell the truth. Fortunately, if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. Life does not revolve around you; it revolves around the truth.
So for other people, there are complications. But for people like myself, and I consider myself an
My
opinion
family kind of know better than to have discussions like this with me because they know they are gonna get cooked. Because I do my research all the time. I'm always doing my research.
maker, a tastemaker, a public intellectual, an influencer, whatever you want to say. I'm an ideas person. My job is in the realm of ideas. I don't have a regular employer. For someone like myself to say, that word doesn't have power over me, I don't care. You can call me that. Once that happens, it's like a spell is broken. And the rest of it followed suit. So that's in the first place. I also want to talk about that whole approach because what was really interesting to me, and we could go over some of the greatest hits. I'm sure we'll hear about it in the super chats, but I'm assuming you've all seen it or you've seen the viral clips. What was interesting to me about the interview is that he seemed to think in the middle of it, before, during, and after the engagement, that he was winning. Because during the interview, he kept saying, well, the audience is going to judge. Well, the viewers at home will decide. Thinking in his mind that they're eating this up, that the audience at home is folding their arms and saying, well, he's done it. Piers got him to admit he's racist. Well, that's it. That's all we need to see. It's over. I don't need to hear any more. He's racist, and that's all I needed to hear. That's it. And so during the interview, he kept falling back on this. Well, the audience can decide. It's sort of smugly. And even after the interview, on Twitter, is treating it like this was some grand victory. But if you looked at the comments, all the comments on Instagram, on X, on YouTube, they're all positive. People thought it was funny. People said I was logical. People said they found themselves agreeing with me. Or if they disagreed, they said they didn't find me all that extreme. They said that Piers was being dishonest and malicious. They said he's a liberal boomer. They said some of what he said was ridiculous, that he was angry.
Roku's
God.
self-serve ads platform.
Here's
It's
this
easier than
white
ever
knighting
with
for
Ads
all
Manager.
the women
Sign up
in the
today.
world that
Protect
let
your
their
dreams
husbands.
under our roof.
I mean that all the women in the world
American
that
Family
get fucked by
Insurance.
their husband's pool boy.
And this is so true. Like, I believe maybe 98.
Shout out the purge. Shout out the purge. Shout out the purge.
There's sort of a corollary to this, which is I have been pushing this message for 10 years. And I have been dealing with hostile interviews like this for just as long. And I have been dealing with these clip shows for just as long, too. At the end of the interview, he asked me how I thought it went. I said, you think you're the first one to do this? You thought this was a novel approach? You think this is the first time someone has played a clip out of context and asked me to explain it? I said, take a number and get to the back of the line. I've experienced this many times. And what's funny is in my niche internet community, and maybe more broadly, my generation, this engagement between Zoomers and Boomers, it's been happening. It happened. It happened years ago. And what I mean by that is maybe this is just reaching Piers Morgan now. But 5, 6 years ago, people like me were saying to their parents and other edgelords on Twitter and other people, other intellectuals in private were saying to equally as confused boomers, yeah, I'm racist, I don't care. In other words, this is something that has already happened in the past tense. We have been in a post-racist conversation for years.
Yeah.
It happened quietly. It happened privately. It happened among the younger generation. It happened on the internet. It happened years ago where people said, including myself,
I swear it
and many
happened in, like,
other
2016.
occasions, said, you know what, fine, we're racist. You can call me that. We don't care. We're comfortable with it. We want to have the conversation. And we're not going to be held back by the labels and the shaming and the grandstanding and all the rest. And it's funny that it has taken so many years for that concept to travel to the legacy media where Piers Morgan is. He's just finding out now. This is maybe the first time he's encountered this. I have to believe that because I go on his show at the end of 2025. It's almost 2026. And he's telling me, you're racist. Okay, I don't care. Well, it's over for you. The audience is going to hate that. And it's like, no, hate to break it to you. The audience is with me. And that's just it. That strategy of calling people racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, that had currency 10 years ago. That had power in 2015. Because in 2015, you could gesture to the audience and appeal to those sensibilities. And it would have been a knockout blow. If you could convince an audience that someone is a racist, or even if you make the charge that somebody is a racist, if someone identifies as a racist, the audience is against you.
I mean, I get the point Nick is trying.
Shout out to Purge.
Accusing you has the moral high ground. You could gesture to the audience and that would be enough. Well, I've done it. You see here, I've accused him of being a racist. And that, like I said, that had a currency with most people a long time ago. But that isn't the case anymore. It was like that, but it's not anymore. Now it's the opposite. And what Piers and Tucker and the rest of them don't understand is that I am extremely popular. And I'm not extremely popular because the economy's bad. I hate to tell you that. I hate to break it to you. They all want to tell the story that the only reason I'm popular is because of disaffected young white males can't enter the job market because housing prices are out of control. I'm extremely popular, and it ain't because of the job market. Okay? I became popular this year because this is the first year that I was completely uncensored. I became popular this year because in the intervening 3 or 4 years when I was censored, everybody got radicalized. Everybody got radicalized at home when they were locked down during the pandemic, and they watched the BLM riots, and they saw the lies from the mainstream media about the vaccine and about the virus itself, and they saw the Ukraine war, and they saw the Biden
October 7th.
administration and what they attempted to foist on us, how they tried to jam that down our throats and tell us everything's okay. People in the past few years have gotten black fatigue, Israel fatigue, woke fatigue, everything you want to say.
Oh God.
In the intervening 3 years, when I was banned, everybody caught up with me. Everybody got as radical as me, so that by the time I became uncensored, it was a match. By the time I became uncensored, there was a general public that had an appetite for it already. I maybe didn't even necessarily make them red-pilled. I didn't make them racist, sexist, the rest of it. They were those things. They had an appetite for those things. They had those feelings. They had those thoughts. And then I was allowed on Instagram, and I simply said them out loud. And for that, I became extremely popular this year. And again, not because they're mad about jobs.
No, of course not.
Oh God. Nobody's mad about a damn job. All right? Niggas are mad about the state of the country and how fucked we are being fucked right now. That's really what we're mad about. You think niggas are mad about jobs only and that's it? You're not really thinking, but yeah, niggas are not just mad about jobs. Bro tells the truth about everything and keeps it 100, which is why he became popular. One of the biggest reasons why he became popular. He tells the truth about everything and keeps it 100. He keeps it 100, which is what I want to hear. I don't want to hear somebody fucking well, this is this and this is and they have their secret interest wherever that may be. When somebody keeps it 100, they They're like I said, America first. Nick is America first, and that's why I fuck with Nick. I'm not trying to be everywhere but America, and we send an aid. I think we just sent another 350 mil to Israel, not counting that from the 4 billion we send them already. That doesn't count in that either. So it's like, yeah. Nick is America first, and he preaches America first. And unfortunately, you guys, and I'm not even gonna say unfortunately because I love it over here. This is our, let me not say our country because you guys might not consider it that, but this is my country, bro. And I don't know where else you niggas think you want to go after this, but there's not too many fucking places that are better than this. All right, that's why everybody want to come over here. Okay, so I need my country to be great, and if if I have to be able to understand people like Nick to make the country great again, and our ideals kind of match, then I'm fine with that. I am perfectly okay with him telling me about what's going on, cause he's not gonna lie and he's gonna keep it 100 with everybody. So that's why I like Nick. He keeps it 100, keeps it 100. He doesn't sugarcoat shit. And he gives you the facts and explains where he gets his shit from, or tells you and breaks it down brick by brick. So yeah, let's get into this. Piers Morgan. This is Myron exposing Piers Morgan's wife, because on the show Piers was making fun of Nick and saying like, "Oh, you're a virgin. You're this. You're that. You've never slept with a girl. You don't even know what it is to be with a girl. So why are you giving advice?" So let's see where Pierce's credentials come from, since he was challenging Nick's credentials. We wanted to see where Pierce's credentials come from. Let's see.
So Tommy Robinson says, just some of Piers Morgan's wife Instagram posts explains a lot. Here's his wife, Celia
Walden. You know each other so well, but I do think somehow there is that smidgen of love somewhere. You wouldn't have married him otherwise, and he's not likely to have any affair, nor you.
Walden.
She said probably a smidgen.
You know each other so well, but I do think somehow there's that smidgen of love somewhere. You wouldn't have married him otherwise, and he's not likely to have an affair, nor for you. Probably a smidgen, bruh. Bro, here she is, some dude in Speedos washing.
Exactly what I was talking about. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. This is crazy. Imagine this is your wife. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play, and it's a nigga shirtless, oiled up. Well, no, let me not even say oiled up, watered up, not even greased up, but lubricated up, washing the car in the Speedos. Like, come on, bro. Are we serious, Piers? This is what being married. This is what you was making fun of Nick for not doing. This is what you do. Like, you niggas are such cucks. It's crazy.
A car. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play, bro.
Reading Lenny's brilliant memoir and thinking back to a sunny Saturday in Paris, he'd taken a 3-year vow of abstinence at the time. Shame. Oh, hugged up on her. Bro looked kind of sweet, though, the way he hugged up on her.
Reading Lenny's brilliant memoir and thinking back to sunny Saturday in Paris, he'd taken a 3-year vow of absence at the time. Shame. Let lover rule, bruh. And then here she is lying down and says, wanted, pool boy, no experience needed.
Applications now open.
Yo, man. Hey, yo. That shit's crazy. This shit is fucking crazy, bruh. This one is the worst. Some dude in a fucking Speedo in LA. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. Bro.
No, but imagine somebody making fun of you like, yo, you don't even get girls. You have never slept with no girl. You don't even have kids. You're not even married. You don't even get bitches. And this is what his bitch doing. Like, that's why it be so funny, because it's like, you niggas that swear you get bitches, if your bitch don't listen to you, it don't matter. She's not really yours. She's just waiting for you to say something she don't like so she can leave. Like, that's not really your girl. If she don't listen to you, that's not your girl, bro. Well, I don't know what y'all niggas don't understand about that. If you tell her no and she says fuck you, that's not your girl. I promise.
Oh, what the fuck is going on? And it's funny because Pierce was trying to make fun of Nick calling him a virgin. Bro,
Right.
I'd rather be a virgin than fucking be a cuck. Like,
Cuck,
God
right.
damn.
Well, I'd rather be the virgin than the nigga sitting in the chair like Diddy. Yeah, jump right on her. Yeah. I'd rather be a virgin.
Man, and I tweeted this. It says here, Piers Morgan pressed Nick for not having sex while his wife literally takes vacations from him to have sex with other men. Bruh, we don't know for a fact
What?
that he's smashing other guys, but I'll tell you this: we probably aren't surprised.
It took break from marriage, 6 weeks sabbatical. Oh my God.
If she does, dude. Holy, bro. Holy. And this is probably why Pierce is so fucking like, you know, pro-feminist. You know? Why he's so
Yeah.
pro-feminist. This is fucking painful.
Oh my God. Her name is Celia Walden. She didn't even take his last name. Like, you have to be a cuck if your girl doesn't take your last name. Like, guys. You literally have to die for the bitch. And she says she don't want your last name. You have to take care of her for the rest of your. Look at me. For the rest of your life. I don't give a fuck if you had to go to work or you figure out some way to make passive income or something. You gotta figure that shit out for the rest of your fucking life. And bitch don't want to take your last name? And you accepted it?
Perfect.
Man, that hurts, bro. We can watch this video a little bit here.
Discussion, debate, interview, whatever you want to call it, between Nick Fuentes and Piers Morgan. And the funniest part of it for me was towards the end, about an hour and a half in, where Piers Morgan is starting to grill Nick Fuentes on being inexperienced with women. Now, this is actually a weakness that Nick has. I've seen him being interviewed or debating with women in the past, and he doesn't come off great because he doesn't have a huge amount of experience with women. And Piers realizes he's got him on this. He's like, yeah, you're a virgin, you need to have sex with a woman. And it's like, okay, Piers, is the discourse really reduced to calling our opponents virgins? I mean, that's very, very...
Yeah, that's low IQ as fuck. And it's like, Pierce is a Catholic. So, like, why are you mad at him
That's
for
what didn't
following-
make sense either, because he's like Myron said, Piers isn't like he's a pagan or an atheist. He's a Catholic. So why are you making fun of him for following his religion? That doesn't make any sense, Piers. You're trying to save bitches and be like, and you're being like, that's what happens when you just throw yourself in front of bitches. You end up looking like a jackass. Okay. Ha ha ha, you follow your religion by being a virgin. You sound like a dumbass, bro. You sound like a cuck.
following the faith and waiting till marriage.
Playground, don't you think? But also, it's not like you can hold yourself up as the model of masculinity when the Groyper curse has struck and Nick Fuentes' fans have dug around into your personal life on the internet.
Oh, God.
And brought back quite a lot of interesting stuff. And that made other people start looking into, well, hang on a second. If Piers is like, no, you need to get a woman and then you will be normal. Well, a lot of your relationship is actually very public facing, Piers. As in, you've put it in the newspapers or your wife puts it on Instagram and doesn't exactly come across very well, actually, Piers.
Right,
makes
it
you
don't look normal.
I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Like a literal cuckold whose wife regularly cheats on him. That's what you appear to publicly be. Piers' wife seems to
It's the problem with feminism, chat.
be basically brazenly contemptuous of him. Right? He reveals that when he met his wife, Celia Walden, he was bombing, giving a speech in front of 1,000 people, and everyone was jeering at him. No, who could have imagined? And the only person laughing was Celia, who was laughing at him. She was really laughing at my discomfort. So the very first time he meets her,
So you like humiliation. See, some of these niggas like this type of nasty, disgusting humiliation shit where you like getting your balls stepped on. Is that you, Piers? Mr. Morgan? You like getting your balls stepped on, brother? You like when they spank you and they got you crawling on the floor in the doggy suit, brother? That's what you be doing? Huh?
he is a clown to her. He is a figure of fun to her. She thinks he is fucking ridiculous. And she really just doesn't seem to give a shit whether he exists or not. Piers admitted that Celia has forgotten their anniversary every single year since they tied the knot in 2010.
Ooh.
This nigga remembers though. Like, that's how you know you're a cuck. Look, guys, you don't want to be this guy. I'm trying to save you niggas. There's one nigga I'm really talking to, one of my niggas. He act like Piers. Be up his bitch. He trying to be up his bitch ass. You can't be up her ass, bro. There's too many niggas trying to be up her ass for you to be one of them niggas. She need to be up your ass. All right? She need to be trying to sniff what the fuck you shit out. All right? not the other way around. So you chasing her and beating up her ass is gonna make her bored of you. You know why? Because she's gonna be like, damn, this nigga's always up my fucking ass. I don't like this shit. This shit is boring. I want a nigga that I have to chase. I don't want a nigga chasing me all day and calling me beautiful every day. I know already. And you know why they act like that is because the DMs, the social media, their head is full. There's too many guys already telling them they're the shit. You being one of them guys, you act like a fan, she's going to treat you like one. Okay? It's that simple. So don't be one of those guys. Don't be a fan. Okay? You're different. Fans are different. Fans don't you're not a fan, you're a player. You're a coach. Coach isn't fucking dancing on players' nuts, okay? You give him an offer, you don't want it, who gives a fuck? It's a lot of more other niggas that dunk and shoot the ball, okay? All right?
Perfect.
So, pay attention.
Bro's been with her since
be a cuck.
2010? Bruh.
Speaking of Lorraine, he revealed she's forgotten it for 9 It's just like I'm not in her airspace at all, so I have a wife who never remembers our anniversary. That's really unusual, Piers. It really makes it look like she doesn't love you, like she doesn't really want to be with you, like she's not attracted to you, and you're actually a bit of a burden that she spends her time mocking. And I'm guessing it's literally that she's with you for the money, and possibly the status as well. And it just gets better from there. She admitted, no, she wasn't impressed at all with him. She joked that she wasn't too impressed with her first encounter and was unsure about even posing for a picture with him.
Chat,
God.
is she...
Ooh.
So he came across as a loser and a simp. May 2005, seconds after we first met, I remember thinking, do I really want to have my picture taken with this guy? After he left Good Morning Britain, there was a double-page spread in The Sun that she posted on her Instagram that said literally, please hire my husband. I'm sick of having to look at him every morning. She told The Sun, being married to Piers is basically one very long eye roll. But what people don't realize about Piers is he's very quiet at home because he's exhausted himself. The only reason I'm sad about him leaving Good Morning Britain, and the fact that I wake up and there he is staring back at me morning after morning. Unfortunately,
Guys, if she's like this on the internet, there's no way in hell she's any better at the house. I can promise you that. And that's what's so funny. I can pinky promise you, she is she's worse at the crib. So the way Pierce acts, it's so fucking annoying because in reality, this nigga wants to scream and rip his hair out and run because he knows he's living with a demon. But he gets on the show and puts his chest up because he's married and he's talking to a racist. Like, you're so corny, Pierce. Like, get a real bitch.
Chat, she is? Hold on.
Fortunately, he's got all of his energy back now, so please someone give him a job. Like, okay, your wife seems to have no respect for you, and she seems to genuinely not really like you very much, Piers. And there are a weird number of articles that make Piers look just like an embarrassing simp, frankly. Apparently, he crashed his car on their first date because he was too busy staring at her legs. And he gets into an argument with some guy. They're following an incredibly hostile exchange. I was quite taken aback and asked if that happens to him, and he said, yeah, a lot. So he's just generally hated by the general public.
The video is called Breaking Piers Morgan is a Literal... Holy shit, bro.
Unashamedly sycophantic. He describes Celia in the resulting GQ article as ridiculously beautiful, inspiring
Grok is telling me she's not, chat. Grok is telling me she is not. Her family background is full English. At least that's what Grok is telling me.
equal doses of admiration, lust, and fear. Celia adds, I actually had a friend who had a crush on Piers. Like,
I didn't even get half only, bro. They're saying that she's not. You have to early life for mom? Who's her mom? Let me look here.
Told her that she was mad? Like, that's not very encouraging from your own wife, Piers. We arranged to meet for the interview, and Piers managed to string out over the course of 4 different meetings. He kept saying, yeah, there are a few things I didn't quite get, and each of these meetings ended up with us having more and more alcohol until eventually he declared his real motivations and says, the thing is, you tick every single one of my boxes. And I said, well, that's weird because you don't tick any of mine. And now look at me, cue a resigned sigh. I reckon that she was like this unattractive beta. He's insufferable. I'm not attracted to him at all. In fact, I think he's a clown. However,
yeah, it's saying her mom is not one of them either. She was a art historian and picture restorer, specializing in Old Master, born in England as the daughter of Dr. Thomas Hunt, a prominent physician who served in Winston Churchill. Nope. So now, guys, I don't think so.
He is fabulously wealthy, isn't he? He does have 3 mansions. So, you know, maybe I can just accept his gifts. And she says, I wasn't caving at all. So Piers started aggressively pursuing me in the most bizarre way possible. Like, what an absolutely desperate simp Piers Morgan is. And of course, I wear the trousers, she says. She is, of course, the man of the house. She is the one who calls the shots because she is the one who is reluctantly consenting to the marriage. And he is the one who is desperate for her to like him. And really, I think it's his money that has leveraged her into this.
And that's how you look when you're obsessed with your girl. Like you're desperate for her to like you. Like you're begging for her, please love me. Please, you see how much love I'm giving you. Just love me back. You look desperate, bro. You look, like I said, you look like a fan. When you look like a fan, she's going to treat you like a fan. Okay? Women like men who are superior than them. They want men who they think that are better than them. They don't want niggas who are drooling over them. Because guess what? If you're drooling over her, that means you're lower than her. That means she's up here, you fucking cockhead.
This place. And so, embarrassing, very embarrassing. But then, like I said, the Groiper curse struck. And the Groipers started looking up her Instagram. And, right, there was quite a lot on the Instagram that really was humiliating for Piers Morgan. Now, it's not bad
And this is what I showed you guys, the 4 things that Tommy Robinson posted.
enough that your wife publicly disrespects you in the newspapers, right? It's not bad enough. But basically she says, yeah, I didn't find him attractive, and I'm kind of only with him because he love bombed me with gifts, and I realized he was super rich, and I could just be a total bitch to him all the time. But the sort of things that she posts on her Instagram are really deeply humiliating for
damn.
Piers. And I don't know.
This nigga got 100 new followers. Fuck, I'm trying to be like this nigga. Shit.
Yeah, bro, even for like the biggest feminist that's like, oh yeah, women's rights, woo, yeah, I'm open-minded. This is embarrassing shit that a married woman should never be posting.
If he knows this. In fact, I think he does know this, right? I mean, she's got, like, you know, here's him as a hairdryer blowing her hair. You know, does anyone know where the off button is? Yeah. Okay, Piers Morgan's a blowhard. Right, okay, fair enough.
Bro, what? No respect.
That's crazy. Does anyone know where the off button is? Button on the Morgan 3000 is? Jesus Christ, bro. Trying to tell you, it's just horrible. Niggas are really getting like cucked out here. You niggas be thinking, this is why I have to do my show. We still have niggas like Piers out here getting fucked in the ass with no lube. Fuck.
Bro.
That's banter, right? But then you get ones like this, where she's handsy and hanging all over this guy. It's like, okay, yeah, fair enough. That's not that much.
Why we all need a
You
BBF?
see that she's a night rider.
Why we all need a best boyfriend? It's like, right, so it's some guy hugging her and Piers Morgan fuming in the corner.
Why does he like doing this though? Like, do you like looking like a cuck? Is that normal for you? You like doing stuff like this? You like sitting in the corner in the chair with your dick out while your girl gets fucked? There's something mentally wrong with him. I promise.
But then it gets just like more explicit. Here she is in a very cozy embrace with Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, bro. And we all know Lenny Kravitz. If you guys were wondering, yes, he is.
Reading Lenny's
I thought
brilliant
he was
memoir,
gay.
thinking back to us.
Because of the way he was sitting, I was like, maybe this guy might be gay. She might not have been doing nothing with him. She might have been. He looked a little sweet. But
Sunny Saturday in Paris. He'd taken a 3-year vow of abstinence at the time. Shame. Right, okay. So tried to shag Lenny Kravitz. Didn't manage it. But may have been given a loan on loan by his wife. I may be some time. Right, okay. Yeah, so implies she shagged this guy. Oh, Oswald behave. Right, okay. Oh, you know, just very popular with men. And she's very handsy with men on her Instagram. Right, okay. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about here, Piers. If anyone's distracting enough to make you slice half your own head off, it's Mr. Lowe. Don't rush home, Piers. Oh, right. She's trying to shag Rupert Lowe? No, I can't remember this. An actor called Lowe. And then there's this one. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play, and it's some guy washing a car. And
Bro, and that's the worst one. Bro, nigga has orange Speedos. And this is probably at Pierce's house, by the way.
Welcome, punch.
That's what makes this even more egregious. That's probably at Pierce's house, and that's probably a car that he paid for, bro.
I know that's a car he
Come
paid
on,
for.
right.
Why does this nigga have no pants?
Okay. I mean, I'm sure Piers is feeling pretty good
In public.
about all of this. And then you've got this one where she's
Hold on, sorry.
right. Okay. I mean, I'm sure Piers is feeling pretty good about all of this. And then you've got this one where she's talking about the stigma of men with massive dicks. Obviously, Piers Morgan doesn't have that problem. At least she doesn't mention him having that problem. Anyway, my husband.
Guys, this could be you. I'm trying to tell you. Just thinking about coochie, this could be you. Happy wife, happy life, this could be you. Okay? We argue like lawyers, this could be you. All right? All right? Oh, wait, wrong thing.
Piers Morgan doesn't like me to have male friends because he's convinced they want me to have sex. They want to have sex with me. It seems that you want to have sex with them. It seems that you're publicly humiliating your husband by suggesting any other man on earth is desirable apart from him. But to be fair, all of this could just be passed off as, well, you know, it's just banter. It's just me. Ha ha ha. I'm just being so funny on my Instagram, humiliating my stupid, fat, annoying husband.
And this is very common in the West in general, bro. Like, this is what women do. They undermine and hurt the credibility of their guy, and they make fun of him and just use him as a punching bag, right? And the guy's supposed to just sit there and self-deprecate. Fuck that, man. Guys, don't ever let your girlfriend or your female counterpart ever disrespect you like this, because it leads to other problems, okay?
Okay, that's not very nice. Doesn't seem very respectful.
This is why, like, jokey, banterous women like this are a pain in the ass and nobody likes them.
Yeah.
But I guess Piers Morgan is such a simp that he's prepared to accept the public humiliation for decades now.
Yeah, because of feminism, right? And equality, and women are brilliant.
But that's not proof that she's done anything. I mean, is having an account on Ashley Madison proof, though? I think if your wife or husband has an account on Ashley Madison, then it's probably fair to say they are definitely cheating on you, right? Because, I mean, that is
Facts.
the sole purpose of that website, to literally have extramarital affairs. That's the point of it. And of course, Piers Morgan's wife has an account on there. Like, that is wild, absolutely wild, how much she seems to despise him. And so put in that light, you think, well, all this talk of him being like, yeah, men and women are equal. Well, no, your wife is clearly superior to you in your relationship, so she doesn't think of herself as your equal. As far as she's concerned, you're punching up, right? All of that seems like a kind of way of justifying how he's treated like such a beta in his own relationship. And of course, a few years back, she decided to go on a 5-week, quote, marriage sabbatical. Now, I'm completely sure, Piers, that her Ashley Madison account went completely untouched during this 5 weeks, you actual cuck. Like, I'm absolutely sure she wasn't just non-stop cheating on you. Completely sure.
Bruh, this is why, man, yo, guys, when you're a famous dude, bro, you have to have your girl in check, bro.
But you have to have the balls to put them in check. You have to have the guts to tell a bitch to shut up. If you don't have none of that shit, it won't matter. You gotta have the balls to put your girl in check, guys. If you can't put your girl in check, she's not your girl, bro. You gotta find another one.
Telling you, man, when you're a famous dude, you gotta have your girl in fucking check, guys.
Because, I mean, it's normal for white women
Most of these niggas don't be having the balls to even fucking put niggas in check to begin with.
be like, yeah, I need to spend more than a month away from you, not really having any contact with you. And I have also, coincidentally, an account with Ashley Madison. Nothing to worry about there. Don't you worry about it. I'm just going to post on Instagram about how I'm shagging all of these other guys. Don't you worry about it.
And notice how this guy that she's talking about, you can see he's in good shape, right? Pause. But, and I'm going to talk about this in detail, right? Why, I'm going to break this down for you guys, because there's a lot more to this.
Of course, there is the long history of me saying you're really fucking...
Notice how he does not look like Piers. The guys that she's allegedly cheating with look nothing like Piers. That should be another fucking, clue.
Annoying. And one of my girlfriends...
Let you know that women tell you women are politically correct with what they're aroused by.
Tried to crush on you. I think she was mad. I think she was just mad. What this all adds
Bro,
up to
what?
is
6
the fact that
foot,
Piers
6
Morgan
pack
isn't
right there.
really in a position to lecture anyone about what being successful with women actually looks like.
Yeah. I'll be honest, bro. I'd rather be a fucking virgin than have my girl doing this kind of shit and embarrassing me all over the fucking internet as a prominent voice in media. Now, let's just look, man. There's lessons to be learned from this. Let's have a very honest and a very raw and a difficult conversation, all right? We live in a globalized sexual marketplace. What does this mean? This means that women have more access than ever before to an abundance of men from all over the world, okay? A woman that would have been limited geographically to find a mate in her immediate geographic vicinity can now go ahead and access men all across the world. And I liken this almost to the female chess piece for the queen, right? The queen, as you guys know that play chess, she can move in any direction that she wants, right? As many spaces as she wants. One of the most powerful pieces on the board. However, if you lose your queen and she dies, if you get a pawn across the board, you can turn it into a queen and now you're good, right? And this speaks to a bigger situation. And that situation is this. Since women have all the leverage and latitude in dating and courtship and relationships in 2025 in this modern day age, you must be a pinnacle guy. And when I say you must be a pinnacle guy, what I mean by this is
you gotta have your shit together.
You have to have your money on point. You need to be.
You gotta have the 3 6s, the 6-figure 6-pack, 6 feet. Even though most of us aren't gonna be 6 feet.
In good shape. You need to be charming and charismatic and a good speaker. You got to be funny. You got to be respected by your peers or in your industry, right? When you walk into a room, your reputation should precede you. You have to have all these different things in line, okay? Now, why am I saying this? The reason why I'm saying this is because if you're deficient in one thing, that thing will come back to hurt you tenfold, okay? Let's use Piers, for example. Piers is a world-renowned journalist, extremely famous, extremely wealthy, right? I wouldn't be surprised if his net worth isn't somewhere between $20 to $100 million, right? Internationally recognized, respected broadcaster, etc. What are his weak points? Well, he has an egalitarian mindset with men and women, which means that he treats his wife as an equal, and he's not really in shape. Not really the best looker, pause. You can see that he's aged a bit, hair's getting gray, you know, got the turkey neck going on. So, though he has money and status,
He got the turkey neck.
which I told you guys are some of the biggest amplifiers, he's not physically attractive, unfortunately. Pause.
Right.
So if you guys notice, what is his wife craving on her Instagram? Men that are in good shape, that are younger, that have some semblance of youth and attractiveness, right? We saw the picture of her with the pool boy lying there like this, being a 304.
Yep, and that explains to you that women are not going to tell you what they're aroused by. They're just going to go get it. And if you're lacking in any of these areas, she's going to tell you, and you will start to notice. And just like how Pierce is lacking in the egalitarian asset of his life, where he doesn't know how to tell a motherfucker, shut the hell up, it's going to show when they don't shut the fuck up, or she does whatever she wants, just like she's doing here. Which is exactly the reason why you are supposed to vet and tell women how it is and what the program is before you get in a relationship with them. Once you do that, it becomes a lot more easier, because they'll start weeding themselves out, in a sense. But yeah, that's a shame. Imagine your wife does all this and you was telling a nigga who's a virgin, oh, haha, you're a virgin. You're racist. My wife is getting fucked by Chad right now with the suds, but you're racist. Nah, that's crazy, bro. But anyways, this was a nice little Friday. We finished Piers' interview the other day. We will be back live Monday. Nothing too crazy today. It was a nice, funny. This was actually pretty funny live today. But yeah, I will see y'all boys on Monday. Peace.
The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together. Oh! So stop treating these like they mean something.
Let's go to TikTok.